I'm back again, man.
All
I told you for round 2.
We're gonna do it?
We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna do it. Now, make sure you got yourself together because I'm ready to kick some ass.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You gotta find another one to kick some
Well,
ass.
hey, you're the closest one right now.
Uh-oh, let's get it. You've been doing this for how long? How many years?
54 years.
54 years.
54 years. I started when I was 13 years old. Grew up a shy kid, didn't do well in school. I found somebody that was working out. Saw my first black man working out. Man, I thought looked like Superman with muscles. In 1970, and he manufactured all of his equipment, and it was in his backyard. Okay, it was what I needed at the time because I was struggling in school, my self-esteem like this, and I needed something to make me, how would I say it, cross the burning sands. Once that happened, my whole life changed. Academics got better, my knowledge of things got better.
Confidence?
My confidence was out of the roof.
You StillSwole. I'm the original Iron Addict.
Yes, sir.
Now, we've been doing this both for over 50 years. Now, explain to somebody who's a senior citizen who thinks it's way past their prime and they ain't got, nothing left and there's no need for them to start. What would you tell them?
I would tell them that don't give up on your dreams and your aspirations. You want to keep pace with things that are uniquely yours. You can do all the things that you've been doing. You may not be able to do all the weights that you've been doing because of your joints and your tendons and you can't do those things, but you can train smart and do the same thing you've been doing for the last 25, 30 years. Super important to AARP people.
Yeah.
You have to continue with the cardio on that journey. When you're working out, you have to do that because you don't want that influx of weight gain because your metabolism slows down as you get older.
Yeah, I remember when I was recovering from a heart transplant, my first goal was just to walk around the block.
Exactly.
If I can walk around the block, then I can make it. What would you tell that AARP recipient out there who's looking at you and saying, I hear you StillSwole, I want to do it, but how do I get started?
They get started basically with guys like us. We're the inspiration. We're the guys that can help them. We can do things that are very conducive for AARP because we're living the dream. We're doing it.
Leading by example.
Leading by example.
All right, I made a video some years ago called Like a Man Need to Grow. And I would basically describe my style of training is based on a drill sergeant. I'm an ex-military guy.
Right.
And my drill sergeant never gave me a choice, StillSwole. Every time I did have the nerve to ask him a question, he would just say, "Cause I fucking said so."
Oh, okay.
that was his, and that's my training philosophy.
That's your MO.
That's it. Don't ask me no goddamn why. Don't ask me how many fucking reps we're gonna do until you can't do no motherfucking more. That's how many you gonna do. So I want to know, what's your training philosophy? Old dog, I just like to stick to that because I fucking said so type of philosophy. But I want to know, that don't work.
I'm a little bit different.
Yeah, that doesn't work with everybody.
And it didn't with me.
Right.
You're more hardcore training.
Absolutely.
Okay? I did the hardcore training for many, many, many years. And I built that foundation over that hard training. And that all has legitimate factors in growing.
Yeah, my style is definitely not for everybody.
But that style is what we need to get started and build that foundation, to build a road, okay? But then you have to start recognizing as you get older, and that's when I started recognizing that free weights wasn't my friend anymore. Joints started bothering me, my elbows started bothering me quite a bit, shoulders started bothering me quite a bit, and I needed to find an escape. Ease.
Absolutely.
And I've been
get to be your best friend.
Exactly. And I did machines. I started machines around 50. I went to the machines and I stayed with the machines. And the machines gave me longevity.
Absolutely.
Okay? Which I wouldn't have had if I'd have stayed on the iron. You gotta suck your pride up. Just like you said, because I said so, that mentality, you know, you've been living with that mentality for many, many, many years.
My whole life.
Your whole life. So therefore, you know, it's hard to make the transition. So you have to be willing to move in another direction to keep your journey going.
Absolutely.
I did not think that I would be training in my 60s. There's no way.
Yeah.
I said maybe when people ask me, said, well, how long you think you're gonna do this? I said, maybe till I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's 17 years ago.
Yeah. I was forced to adapt.
Okay.
You know, I'm a young man in my early 30s. Bench press 705 pounds.
I know.
World champion. But I tell you what, when I had that heart attack, woo-wee, everything went out the window.
Right.
I was forced to adapt, forced to choose another training method. And that's when the high reps became easy, because I could not lift 700 pounds no more.
And you know what? The high repetitions are just as beneficial than lifting the whole 300-400 pounds.
Yeah, probably more. Yeah, especially to
But in our mind,
Yeah. I would look at, I look at myself and I would be disappointed.
Right.
I'd be disappointed with oh man, I remember what I used to look like. But then I remember a lot has happened since that time.
over the 65 years.
Old man and flatlined 5 times.
Oh my God.
Got another heart. So I'm just blessed to be able to do whatever I can do. So right now, my message to the AARP, doing what you can do. Where else are they gonna find a 65 and 67-year-old
Nowhere.
working out?
Nowhere.
Sharing knowledge gained over 100 years of experience in the gym.
This is really God's.
I got the connection immediately, like you said, and don't do it for everybody, and don't feel that with everybody. But I said, once we talked a couple times, but once we talked, I said, people need to know about StillSwole. And if, it's just by the grace of God that I have a social media following at all. More people knew about StillSwole. God has blessed me to have a little following. If I can introduce the senior citizens, the AARP crowd to what I think is an outstanding example
Thank you.
of what could be.